What's going on, everybody? It's the Lord X coming to you with a brand new One Piece OP02 deck profile featuring the one, the only Ivankov. So let's head down to the table and check it out. So first and foremost, we have the leader, Emporio Ivankov. It's a blue, 5 life, 5,000. At the end of your turn, if you have 0 cards in your hand, you get to draw 2 cards. This deck is probably one of my favorite to come into the game so far. It's really fun, has a lot of utility, and I don't know, it's blue, so it's kind of got that big brain fun to it. So starting off, you want 4 Buggy. This guy is the Nami of the deck. On play, look at the top 5 cards from your deck, reveal an Impel Down type card from there, and add to your hand. You cannot add Buggy with it though, so it's basically just, it's Nami. Then I run 2 of the 1-drop Law. It's a cheap blocker for the deck, but it doesn't have counter, so I only want to run 2. Next card, another 2 of. I run 2 of the Stage card. New Comma Land. This is dealer's choice. However, I like this card for tempoing with the deck. If your leader is Emporio Ivankov, draw 1 card, trash 1, and then you can trash up to 3 cards from your hand. It's a great way to get your deck going. If you're tanking and you have that card, you can kind of ramp your deck up to get it where you need to be going. Another 2 of in the deck, 2 of the starter deck, Boa Hancock. You play this card for the trigger, which is if you get this out alive, you get to play, and it's a free blocker for the deck. It can help keep you alive in some pretty clutch situations, and it's a counter in your hand if you do draw it. However, you kind of never want to draw it. Kind of never want to see it in your hand. Next, 3 blocker Lofi. You play this card A. It's a 3x4 blocker with counter, so it's really strong, and you use the stacking effect. I prefer this over running Perona in this deck because I like to get my 5 stack later in the game, after I've started cycling the deck a little bit and after I've used Buggy, hopefully at least once. Because my problem is I just don't think Perona's that great turn 1 in this deck, to where this card always feels good to play in the deck. However, Perona is definitely an option if you want to run a more 1-drop heavy style build. Next, going into the Impel Down cards. For Inazuma, this is probably the best Impel Down card that you can play in the deck. That's a 4 cost. It's blocker, and if you have 1 or less cards in your hand, gains 2,000 power. So it's a 4x7, which is really strong. I really like to establish that card when I can. The next one is for if you need to be a little bit more aggressive. You have your Mr. 3. At the end of your turn, you can trash 1 card from your hand and then set this card as active. So really quick tip with this card is at the end of your turn, you can choose the order in which you use your leader ability and him. For example, you can draw 2 cards off of your leader and then pitch 1, or you can pitch 1 and then draw. It's not you don't get one or the other. You can order it and do both, which is pretty nice. Next, I run a really heavy 2k counter package in this deck. So these are all just 2k counters at 4 ofs. So I run Mr. 2, Alvida, the new Mr. 2, and then starter Mihawk. I don't run any events in this deck. I only run the 2k counters, and the reason for that is I want to be pitching my hand often and consistently. And I found that the more 2k counters I'm running, the higher odds I am to draw 2 off of my Ivankov leader ability once I'm established. Because this whole deck is very much like get your boss play established, and then be able to protect yourself. And the 2k counters provide the best way to do that. And it always feels really good to, leader effect, draw 2 into 4k counter, because you're getting 2 2ks off of it. That always feels really good. Next, it's the top end of the deck. So I run 2 Crocodile. You can run 2, you can run 4. I like 2, and it's mostly because this isn't the card that I'm trying to play off of Ivankov. So because of that, I'm only running 2. It's just if I get it, he still meets the 7,000 power line that I want. So he's just an extra copy of something that I can play. Next, best card, 6-drop Lofi. On play, trash 2 cards, bounce a card that costs 4 or less, then this card gains double attack. He gains the same effect when attacking. Super solid. It's fantastic. I've used this to play him, pitch 2, bounce my buggy, play my buggy for another search. You can bounce blockers and then swing really large for double attack. He's really strong. You just got to be smart when you commit for the double attack. You just have to be smart about it. Next is the best card in the deck, the 7 cost Emporio Ivankov as a 4 of. On play, draw cards until you have 3 cards in your hand, then play up to 1 blue Impel Down character with a cost of 6 or less. So if you're not sure, you'd play this, draw into this, and play this. So for 7 Dawn, you get to play 13 Dawn worth of power. The other card you combo with this Ivankov generally is that Crocodile. But what's nice is you can play either of your 2 Impel Down blockers, the Mr. 3 or the Inazuma as well off of that effect, which always feels good. Just be able to play a 7,000, draw some cards, and then play a blocker. And then the last 2 cards in the deck, 2 9x9 Mihawk. On play, place up to 1 character with cost 7 or less at the bottom of the deck. If your curve in this deck is Ivankov into Lofi, and then on your next turn you Mihawk, you're going to backbreak your opponent pretty hard with this deck, and it's going to be really hard for them to maintain against it. So overall, things that I could recommend you could substitute in for this deck, you could run Brick Fist, you can run Perona, and I would say things that you could alter out of my list would be the stage spell, sorry, that's some Yu-Gi-Oh lingo coming out. Field spells. No, the stage card can be replaced with maybe Peronas. You could substitute some of the 2K counters out. Like I said, I run 16. You could get away with 12. And the Boa Hancock, some people run 2, some people don't run it, some people run 4. It's all personal flavor. I just know that I really enjoy seeing that card off of life. So anyways, guys, this has been my Emporio Ivankov deck list. Let me know what you guys think, and let me know in the comments if you want to see me run this on stream or my Dofi deck list that we ran earlier last week on stream coming up, or both. Let me know what you guys think. I'll be coming to you with some more deck lists later on, and I'm thinking of maybe doing Zephyr or Law next. So let me know in the comments what you guys want to see. And thank you so much. Remember, there'll be a shortened version of this deck list on TikTok, or if you're coming from TikTok, thank you so much for coming and checking in the more in-depth version of the list. And I will see you guys next time. Later.